Welcome to Ada Continues, episode 149, a weekly podcast posted up every Monday as an MP3 at adacontinues.com, in which we talk about video games and related topics. And it goes up a little earlier on that, a few days earlier, on youtube.com/adacontinues as a video, as you can see right here, with me, and I'm your host, Stafa. And the face that's going to be talking with me is Kevin.
Hello, hello.
How is your face doing today?
My face is doing wonderfully.
Awesome. I love how the sound waves just come out of your face. Very amusing.
See, now you can say that you can see the voice acting.
I love how long has it been? About a year or so. We're still talk about seeing the voice acting.
Yep.
Okay, so as you can see, if this is not the first time that you've been watching this video, where you notice that we're not in the same room this time. This is because I was scheduled to record with someone else from Canada, who thinks he's a big shot now and wants me to interview him. Thinks he's too good for the show now, but he was having issues getting his audio recording device working, his mic and whatever working. So Kevin over here flew in like a superhero and saved the day.
Da, 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 da.
And is going to be, the guest host of this week. If you're new to the show, I'm your guest. I'm your main host, Stafa, and I have different guest hosts with me each week. Just to keep the show fresh, or mainly because no one else wants to commit to a weekly show with me. So there we go. We got Kevin this week. This week's episode segments include what have we been playing. And then we got some announcements, some quick announcements. Our main topic will be on user reviews, and then we're gonna have some news.
Sounds
got
good.
some interesting news this week too. So
Yeah.
I'm excited to get to that section. So let's talk about what have you been playing, Kevin, the face with the visual voice acting.
Yep.
What have you been playing?
I've been playing just a little bit of Borderlands 2. I've talked about it before, and it's one of my favorite shooters. I just decided to go back to it and play some of the DLC.
Is it because Destiny came out and you're like, well, I can't play Destiny because I'm a PC elitist. So
Well,
I'm gonna play this 2-year-old game instead.
well, I mean, Destiny basically is essentially Halo with a little bit of Borderlands to it. So, no, that's not the reason. It's just I still had a lot of the DLC to finish, and pre-sequel is coming out next month, and I plan on picking that up as well. So I just felt like playing some more Borderlands, and because it's one of my favorite games, and I do enjoy it quite a bit. And I'm interested in seeing how the story ties in with pre-sequel. I know it's supposed to be like right in between Borderlands and Borderlands 2, and
Which is the reason why they call it the pre-sequel, but that's also really terrible.
I don't know. I mean, I'm okay with the name. It kind of fits with Gearbox's whole. Well, it fits in the whole
Well, it's
Borderlands
not made by
style.
Gearbox though. It's made by like 2K Australia or something like that.
Yeah, it's some other company. It's being overlooked by Gearbox, but I mean, it fits in the Borderlands humor style.
You know what else was overlooked by Gearbox?
Hmm.
Alien Colonial Marines.
Yeah, see, I'm a little skeptical about pre-sequel mainly because of that, and it's not being developed by the same team. It's only being overlooked, and so I am somewhat skeptical. But we'll see how it actually turns out. I don't think I'll be buying the pre-sequel on day one. I haven't pre-ordered it, so
I won't.
I'll wait. About a
Pre-ordering's
week
a
or
bad
two.
idea anyways.
I will pre-order certain games.
And you'll get early access on certain games too.
Yeah, but we'll talk about that later. But I will only pre-order a game now if I plan on getting the collector's edition for it. So it has to be a game that I'm obviously super excited about. Like the only game I have pre-ordered right now is
BioShock.
no, there's gonna be no more BioShock, sadly.
Which
Witcher 3. Yep. But yeah, so I've just been playing some Borderlands 2 just to kill some time. But yeah, that's about it.
okay.
How about you?
I started playing this game called Enemy Mind.
Ooh.
That's a theme song.
Nice.
I'm so great at replicating 16-bit music. So Enemy Mind. This was I got this in one of the Humble Bundles. It was the extra credit games you should try bundle. And basically this is a it's similar to like the 16-bit side-scrolling shooters like Gradius and R-Type, those type of shooters.
Yeah.
And I was surprised when I booted up the game. It was made by Shell Games. I don't know. A lot of people don't know about Shell Games because Shell Games makes like mainly educational games and stuff like that. But I know of Shell Games because I got to meet the CEO, Jesse Shell.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like I got to meet him when I was the IGDA scholar for Casual Connect. So one of the perks was to meet like certain industry professionals, and Jesse Shell was one of them. And Jesse Shell, he's also known for I gotta search this real quick. His book, Jesse Shell book. What was it? The Art of Game Design, which a lot of a lot of people say that if you can only read one book on game design, this should be that one book. In fact, hold on.
Let me guess, you have it.
Boom. There we go.
I really want to get that book.
You want it?
On my Amazon wish list. You email the book to me or send it through Hangouts.
Hold on. Here we go. Where does the game? I mean the book start? Here we go. Chapter 1.
Yay! We're gonna read
hello. So is this legal for me to like just show you at each page one by one?
I'll take a screenshot.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, he wrote a book on game design, the art of game design, and he's also I believe a professor at Carnegie Mellon. So my mentor, she actually took his class. So
nice.
Yeah, but enough of Jesse Shell. Let's talk about Enemy Mind. Enemy Mind, made by Shell Games, not by Jesse Shell though, but he has like 100 or so developers, in his studio. So he has several small teams working on different projects. One of the teams worked on this game, Enemy Mind, and it is really interesting because what makes it different from other side-scrolling shoot-'em-ups is that this game, basically the premise is that there is a war between, like, I'm assuming humans. No, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're humans because it shows like 3 general type characters that are clearly humans. But like they're like these human ships, and then there are like these alien ships that are like squid, insectoid-looking ships, and like they'll actually shoot at each other when they're both on the screen at once.
Huh.
which is actually pretty cool. And you are a third party, basically. Um, the humans call you like the first they start calling you like the brain snatcher or something like that, and the squid people call you the silent one or something like that. And basically you have the ability to go from one ship to another and basically steal the ships.
That's cool.
And so you're not playing as one single ship. And when you take over a ship, it has a hull, life for the hull,
Hmm.
and also has ammo. So you can't stay with the same ship the entire game. One because of you're gonna run out of health using that same ship. It's
Yeah.
really difficult to not get hit. But two, being you're definitely gonna run out of ammo. You cannot gain more ammo. The only way to get more ammo is to switch to a different ship that has ammo.
Hmm.
So it kind of forces you to play the game, like try to be more accurate with your shots rather than constantly shooting.
Hmm.
And I mean, it's just a really interesting game. Like uh, the fact that you're switching from one ship to another, and like each ship plays really differently. Like you'd have like your basic ship that looks pretty much like the Gradius ship, and it shoots like single shots. Then like the basic ship for the squid ships like has like this waving shot. Um, you got some ships that are stationary that literally do not move, and like you can aim in all directions. And you have other ships that have like no ammo at all, but like a ton of health, so you can pretty much just ram through dudes. Um, I mean, like it's just really cool that there's like a lot of variety as far as the ships that you take over, and boss fights are actually really cool because you take over part of the bosses, and that's kind of cool when you take over a boss and it's like, man, this has a really unique mechanic. Um, so I'm about halfway through the game, and there are I think there are like 8 levels, and each level has 10 waves, and the 10th wave being a boss fight. So that's 9 waves and then a boss fight. And in between each wave, it will give you like a little story bit, which is actually really interesting because it seems like you get a different story bit depending on whether you have a human ship or a alien ship. Basically, from what I have gotten so far, um, the humans, you're basically listening in on their like radio signal to each other, and the alien ships, I think, I mean, it's not really too clear at the moment, or maybe I'm missing the point or something, but like I think the ships themselves are the entities.
Oh, I see.
So I'm not too sure, and it's tough to like get one complete side of the story because like whichever ship you're in last, that's what the story part you're going to get. So
Yeah.
and you really don't have that much of a choice if you have to jump ship to a different ship. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm about to die with this, I need to grab that other ship. And okay, I wanted to have a human ship to hear what they have to say next, but I end up on the alien ship instead, so I get their story bit. But it's still really interesting. I mean, it's a really cool game so far, as far as both gameplay mechanics and story goes. It's really unique as far
Hmm.
as how it's telling its own story. And the graphics are pretty cool too. I mean, I mentioned that it's similar to like the 16-bit shooters, but like the graphics, I'd say if I were to compare it to something, it looks kind of like FTL,
Hmm.
like that
That's
style.
yeah. That's pretty cool.
So it's a pretty cool game. Excuse me. I definitely recommend checking it out if you're into shoot 'em ups. I mean, if you missed out on that Humble Bundle, then that's unfortunate. But I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure it'll show up again on some type of a deal. You know.
Yeah, I'm sure it may even go. I mean, Steam has sales going on all the time,
Yeah.
so maybe
Yeah.
one of
They
these
they
days I'll add it
they
to my wish
never run
list.
out of steam on Steam.
Well, I've added it to my wish list, and so I'll should get a notification next time it goes on sale.
Awesome. So let's move on. Let's
All right.
talk about DreamHost real quick.
DreamHost.
Because DreamHost, do you know what DreamHost are? I know you do, Kevin.
Yep,
Do the
I do.
listeners know? Because if they don't know, I don't hear a reply, so I'm assuming that's no. DreamHost, they are a web service. They offer unlimited storage, unlimited bandwidth, user-friendly interface. They are also optimized to use content managers such as WordPress, which is like the most popular content manager on the internets right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Content 5, not so popular, but still pretty good. You know, I use it for my personal portfolio, and many more features. All that just for $8.95 US. Not no pesos or Canadians. You know, not no toonies or loonies, but US dollars. And if you use the promo code out of continues, that is one word, no spaces, just out of continues, it will waive the setup fee and it will get you a free domain registration. Money.
Money.
Money. You're losing money if you're not doing this. You can afford not to do it, bro. You know, Kevin. You know.
Oh, I know.
So that's all I got on DreamHost. You know, I don't want to waste too much of the listeners' time. If they're not interested, I understand. You know, you don't want to make a website, that's fine. But if you do want to make a website, DreamHost.
DreamHost.
DreamHost. So, some quick announcements real quick. iTunes, we can definitely use more iTunes reviews. If you have iTunes, and I'm looking up if we got any new reviews real quick. If you have iTunes and you want to help out the show, please leave a review. That would really help us out. It's one of the single most helpful things you can do for the show, and that is, you know, to leave us a review, because a podcast with any reviews, they get more views or more exposure than a podcast with no reviews at all. So we'd really appreciate, you know, helping out the show, you know, taking out a couple minutes of your time, write a quick review. Or if for some reason you cannot leave a review on iTunes, please share the podcast on Facebook or Twitter. You know, it's really simple, and it really helps out the show a lot. You know, just mention something on your Facebook. Hey, I like to listen to this podcast about video games. It's family friendly. They say some dumb things every once in a while, and they think that Smash Brothers is a fighting game.
I'll fight you if you think that, apparently.
But yeah, that would really help us out. So that's it as far as reviews go. But as I mentioned this last week, I'll mention it again. I got a new Portal 2 level made. This is the second Portal 2 level that I've made. You know, I've been unable to find a job yet, and basically, you know, as an aspiring game designer, got to keep myself busy. So I'm working on projects such as Portal 2 levels, and I got this level complete called Fox, Goose, and Beans. And I'll leave the link in the show notes so you can download the map and play it if you want. And let me know. If you play it, let me know what you think. If it's like the worst thing in the world, sure, I still want to know. Hopefully it's not the worst thing in the world. And Kevin, for some reason, I think I hear an echo of me coming from your end. It's not loud, but it's really silent, but I can kind of hear it.
Yeah, my mic is usually really sensitive. I'll try to turn the volume down, see if
Oh,
that works.
okay. Like, are your headphones that loud or something?
No, they're not loud at all. Just my mic seems to pick up things that come from my headset speakers. It's really weird.
Ah, okay. So anyways, let's move on to our main topic, and that is user reviews. So Kevin, what do you think about user reviews? Is that a good thing or bad thing?
Well, it's definitely, you know, user reviews can be useful because, there's only so many professional reviewers. I mean, if you go to Metacritic, you're only going to see, maybe 10, 15 different professional reviews, and while that is, you know, can give you a decent idea,
No,
it's
you'll
usually,
find 10 or 15 that you recognize, and then 20 that
yeah.
are like Nintendo Lifestyle Podcast or Xbox Lovers United.
Yeah, so I mean, there's a ton of unknown, uh, I guess, just reviews. Like especially if you look at Metacritic, the ones that I look at usually come down to just the 5 or 6 that I usually trust.
Hmm.
But even then, that's not much of a sample size. It's only 10, maybe 15 people at most that out of thousands of potential customers or consumers of that product. So user reviews are good because then you get other people's opinion. I mean, it's always good to get more feedback because then the average is closer to what it should be. I mean, you'll have people who really like it, you'll have people who really hate it, and then you'll have people who just have opinions in between. So the average will usually come out to something that's sensible based on everyone's review.
Well,
But
like the thing about user reviews is that it's like such a wild card
yeah.
because like okay, let's talk about user reviews versus professional reviews as far as Gone Home. They are completely polarized.
Yeah.
For the professional reviews, you find very um, positive reviews for Gone Home
Hmm.
for some reason. Who knows why? Because they are crazy people. And and if you look at the user reviews for Gone Home, like the majority of them are like, "This ain't no game." I mean, like, I'm not gonna argue whether it's a game or not. Sure, it's a game, but like, it's a crappy game. uh, Gone Home level now on Counter Strike.
Yeah, I know, I saw that.
But like, then you have like the another completely different example would be the latest Devil May Cry game, DMC Devil May Cry.
Hmm.
Um, you have positive reviews for the game, but then the user reviews are polarized as far as like half of them saying, "Hey, this game's pretty good, check it out," and then like a very loud minority of Devil May Cry fanboys who are angry that the game was changed, or like, "This is the worst thing ever."
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, like it seems like there is no consistency as far as can you trust user reviews or not, because like it all depends. Like Gone Home, you have people that are very you know what's the word, like they're very vocal about um how they disagree with the press, but then Devil May Cry, you have like fanboys arguing
Yeah.
with people who never played any previous Devil May Cry game.
Yeah, I definitely agree with, like it can be, polar opposites or, extremes, and you still have people, like I mentioned earlier, you'll have people who are huge fans of something and people who absolutely hate it, and so there's usually you know, there may not even be a middle ground for a specific game or specific genre even. But I think user reviews are useful. I think they're helpful just to get what other people think. But I think that not every user review should ever be not every user review should be um, taken too seriously or taken, everything should be taken with a grain of salt because, I mean, those are other people's opinions. There's no guarantee that they'll match up to what you personally think about something.
Yeah.
And, if I'm sure there are people out there who, a game that got like, a 50 on Metacritic, it might be someone's favorite game of all time. And, so everyone has their opinions and it can all be different. But the one thing that really bothers me about user reviews is that it seems that users or just consumers in general don't always think things through completely. And in particular, I kind of made a Facebook status about this a while ago because I was reading through some things and on Steam about like it was a particular game and it was an early access game and everyone that was reviewing it was reviewing it as if it was a game that was finalized, a game that was done, no more updates. It was still an alpha game and
Which game was this?
you're gonna laugh when I say it. It was Space Base.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, we'll talk about this a little bit
Yeah.
later as well during the news. But I mean, like, if you look at the Steam reviews for Space Base, a lot of them are really negative, and I mean, a lot of it is coming down to like this game is, the AI is terrible. I mean, it seems like the people who are reviewing it are not understanding that it's not even a finished game yet.
Mm-hmm. Oh, now it is.
Well, yeah, now it is, unfortunately. But I mean, like this was 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago when I was.
Well, I mean, like the thing about early access reviews though is that reviews for early access games is that at least it's tagged. The review itself is tagged as early access.
Yeah, that is true.
Like it'll say on there, it'll have a little icon on there saying early access on the review itself, but it is mixed with the reviews that won't be early access whenever the game is out of early access. So that there's no like segregation between the two.
Yeah.
Which is an
Well,
issue.
in Space.
Well, I mean, like outside of the case of Space Base.
Yeah, I was about to say
like
Space Base is kind of a special case issue right now, and we'll talk about that in the news section. But
like let's Game X.
Yeah.
Okay, Game X was early access 3 months ago. Now it has gone gold. It is officially released. You look at the reviews, and early access reviews for Game X will be with non-early access reviews, and the top review that people voted as most helpful review might be an early access review.
Yeah.
So that itself is an issue.
Yeah, and then the problem is that I'm not sure how many people who wrote a review on Steam will actually go back and revise their review when the game finally releases. I'm pretty sure most people will just, if they're upset with how the alpha is going, they'll write a negative review about it, saying that don't buy it because it's doesn't have anything compared to X game or Y game, and then completely forgetting that it's an early access game, not even finished. And then when the game does come out and has everything that they wanted to, they won't necessarily go back and edit their review or rewrite their.
Yeah, there's no real incentive, and I'm not even sure if they rewrite the review, if that early access icon goes away, or if they have write a completely new review. I'm not really too sure how that works.
Yeah, I've never. Me neither. I'll have to look into that. But yeah, I'm not sure how that works either.
Hmm.
But we'll see. I mean, I just think that user reviews will be incredibly passionate, whether it's positive or negative, and
Well, one huge issue with the user reviews is that there's no like buffer or time limit before they are able to post a review. Like as soon as the game is out or available to play, to download, like on Steam, it is you can write as soon as you own a game, you can write a review about it. On
yeah,
Metacritic, you don't even need to own the game, because there's no kind of verification. You
yeah,
can, let's say, you don't like game Y. For whatever reason, you're just a jerk. You don't like game Y. You could go over to the Metacritic for game Y and write, oh, whatever. The graphics
right,
are terrible. The game crashes on me all the time. Da 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 da, and be completely false, but it'll still go up.
yeah.
Or the opposite. Oh, this game's the greatest. It has Mario in it for some reason. Nintendo.
Yeah, another thing that is kind of related to that is if you look on Steam reviews and you see like some people will have it will say 0. 0.4 hours played, and then they'll
Yeah.
have like this terrible review or something, and then someone or a really positive review. It's like you haven't. I don't know if you've actually even played it enough to judge that. I mean, the title screen might have been exciting, and then they got excited. Ooh, this game is amazing. Or something might have happened in the first half an hour that just got them really upset or really excited, and so they decided to write a review. And then you have people who have like 300 hours in the game, and then they downvote it and say, "Don't buy this game. This game's terrible."
Yeah,
Why would you
I never
devote
get that.
300 hours to it then?
Like I have seen reviews in which like people have played the game for over 100 hours. I'm not sure if like they actually played it that much and just are, I don't know, like just too stubborn to stop playing the game, or if they like just turned on the game and left it on
Yeah.
and walked away. I don't get those type of reviews in which the player spends over 100 hours and will be like, this is the worst thing ever.
Yeah, it's like, then why did you just spend 100 hours of your life to a game that you're hating? But I mean, I've seen like sarcastic reviews too, where someone will have like 300 hours in the game, and then they'll say, "Don't buy it because it'll ruin your life." But I mean, obviously, it's such a good game that they got drawn into it completely.
Oh man, that's another thing is that like when there is a huge backlash against a specific person, for example, Depression Quest, like
Hmm.
a lot of people will like jump the bandwagon and like just start writing bad reviews and
Yeah.
like it's goofy reviews too, like, oh, me and four of my friends love this game. It reminds me of oh, that one lady that was on, I think, Fox News or whatever, that talked about Mass Effect being a sex simulator.
Oh yeah, I remember
And then
that.
like everybody went on to Amazon and gave her book negative reviews.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember hearing about that.
It's the same thing as that, like people pretty much abusing the system
Hmm.
just to like, you know, teach them a lesson.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely not entirely fair. I mean, I'm sure. I mean, everyone gets upset, but going to those kinds of extremes is a little extreme.
Yeah, like I can't really think of a solution to this though. Like no matter what you do with user reviews, there's always going to be some type of an issue.
Yeah.
Whether it's people who are like making false reviews for a game that they don't own or haven't played, uh, people who you know want to just make troll reviews, or heck, people can just have plain bad opinions. I mean, yeah, everyone has their own opinion, but there are such things as bad opinions.
Well, I will say that in in terms of like Steam reviews, I think personally, Steam reviews should be disabled for games that are early access. And if anyone has an issue with something in that game or wants to make a suggestion, it shouldn't be a review. That should be going in, the game's forums. It should be going as a bug report or submit a ticket to the company, to the development team, so that they're aware of what the issues are. But it shouldn't be a review because the game technically shouldn't be reviewed at that point. It's not even finished yet. It's not even at a point where it's in the developer's mind. It's not even complete. It's not what it's supposed to be at that moment. It's just a way to, for some people, it's just a way to get feedback as they're working on it. In other people's cases, it's a way to get the funding to develop that game. And if they need the feedback, that should be done on forums where people can discuss that, and developers can get involved and provide their feedback on why something is in the game or why it's not in the game, or where its users can give suggestions of what should be changed, or
in fact, like if you look at professional reviewers, publications, the majority of them, or at least the big ones, will not do reviews on early access games,
exactly,
or betas or whatever. Like, you're not going to go to IGN and find an official review on an early access game.
Yeah.
You're not going to do that. You're not going to find that in Giant Bomb or whatever. You'll probably find somebody, with some type of website that will do that, but the majority of them will not, because I think for a little while a few of them were doing reviews on early access games, but because of the fact that early access games get updated so frequently because they're unfinished games, or at least a lot of them get updates, quite a few of these publications stepped back and was like, okay, we can't really do this because we can't do a review of early access game version 0.25 when 0.38 just came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that Steam should just disable reviews for early access games. That would at least solve my issue with people not. It doesn't seem like most people consider the fact that it's not a finished game, and I don't even think Metacritic even allows. I don't even think they even have games that are early access even listed on their website anyway.
Yeah,
so
I don't think so either. And I think, I think there's a timer that says this game will be released in, and it has the time, and that's when user reviews are available.
Yeah, but I also do like your idea of having some kind of time buffer so that people don't just write reviews immediately. Another thing that Steam might want to consider, or Valve might want to consider for Steam reviews, it's not going to be easy to implement because there's no genuine way to track or validate this. But people who have less than a certain amount of hours or time in a game should also not be able to review. But like I said, games vary in length, so it'd be hard to tell, because I know there are some games that you could finish in 20, 30 minutes, and there are some games that require 200 hours to finish. But
yeah, like what's it called? 30 Flights of Loving. I had you play through it. You remember that?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Literally took you 10 minutes to go through.
Mm-hmm.
So if you put like a buffer of, okay, you have to have at least 1 hour, it was like, well, this game took me 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, it's really hard to validate that and get some kind of way of recording that. Maybe if the developers put in like a, this game takes X amount of time, and then if the player has less than a percentage of that, then they are not allowed to put a review in. But then, that could be abused too. That could be really messy, especially with indie games. If they're a smaller, like single dev, like a game that's released by one person that literally takes only 1 minute, or 10 minutes to finish, but he says that his game takes like 5 hours to finish, then that could be abused on the developers' end. There's just no good way to regulate anything when it comes to users and user reviews, because everyone's going to be very vocal about something whether they should or shouldn't. And I just think that the best option, at least in the current situation, is to disable early access reviews and, like you said, put some kind of time buffer so that no reviews can be put up within X amount of time after the game releases, so that there's at least an incentive to play the game, think about it for a little while, and then put a review up.
Put up or shut up.
That should be like the title of Steam reviews.
So yeah, I mean, not really much I can think about to say about this topic. I mean, like there's always going to be issues, like whether you put like a time buffer or not. Like how long is that time buffer going to be? 1 day, a week?
Right.
And like if you, let's say you put a week time buffer, 1 week long, by then wouldn't that like hurt the point of even having reviews? Because reviews are basically so people can see whether, or try to like do research on whether the game is worth buying or not. And a lot of people want to buy it week 1. A lot of people want to buy it day 1. So
yeah. And a lot of sales records are usually based on the first day, first week, first month.
Mm-hmm.
So it definitely can't wait too long. Otherwise, another thing that might happen is if people have, can't put any reviews up for a whole week, then what if they forget? Or
like
they don't even do it?
I've heard one argument that reviews don't even matter. Like a lot of people who buy games don't even care about reviews. They mainly look at reviews after they buy the game, just to like get some kind of a like verification if their purchase was worth it or not. And then like if the reviews like differs from their opinion on the game, then they will like argue with that reviewer just to like basically make their purchase seem to them that it was worth it.
Huh. See, I don't do that. I've always read
do that.
reviews before.
You're like, what? BioShock Infinite is definitely the best game ever.
See, that one was a given. That's like assumed. I don't need someone else to tell me that.
Yeah, you made up your mind like when that game was announced.
I pre-ordered that game the day it was made available. So.
Dude, you pre-ordered it when System Shock 2 came out. You pre-ordered BioShock Infinite when System Shock 2 came out.
I have pre-ordered every game Ken Levine will ever write.
Oh God.
But yeah, I mean, I think I forgot what I was going to say now. All right, yeah. So I mean, like I've always looked at reviews before buying a game. Well, not always. I mean, I don't look at reviews after I purchase the game to validate my purchase or to see what other people think after I've already experienced it or bought it. I usually like to look at, I always go to Metacritic first and then see the average, and then I'll go to, each of the review sites and read their detailed reviews. Just if it's one that I trust, like, I'll look at specific ones, IGN, GameSpot, PC Gamer, all the other bigger ones, and I'll look at what they have to say, and I'll usually, I mean, sometimes there have been cases where a review has changed my mind about a purchase. Mainly, because I've found that certain reviewers will have similar opinions to me, and if they feel that something is not worth a purchase, or if it's worth waiting for a sale, then I'll usually listen to that and heed their advice, and I'll be
but like
better for it.
The thing with user reviews though is that you can't get that same attachment that you have with professional reviewers. Like,
Right.
okay, like I know what kind of games Jeff Gerstmann likes. I know what kind of games Greg Miller likes. But
Yeah.
like, user X, he or she, I don't know who they are. This
Right.
is the first time I've read their review. Are they trolling me? I don't know. Maybe they're trolling me.
Yeah.
They just said that the steering in this game is amazing and it's a platformer. What are they talking about? Maybe they're trolling me, or who knows? I don't know.
Huh.
But you get what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you
Yeah, I
don't
completely
you don't
understand.
know who this person is when it's a user review. When like professional reviews, they they have the spotlight on them. They
Hmm.
constantly are releasing reviews, and you get an idea of what kind of games they like, what kind of games they don't like. I don't go to Total Biscuit because I know his taste in games is very different than mine. You know,
Hmm.
I know he hates platformers. He likes strategy games, and our tastes are so different that like I don't go to him for opinions on
See,
games.
I'm the exact opposite. I think Total Biscuit's opinions and my opinions are very close. Sorry, stuff.
Because you're an elitist. A PC elitist.
See, that's Total Biscuit understands.
Okay, so you got anything else on this topic? You ready to move on?
Yep, I'm ready to move on.
Okay, let's go on to gaming news, and I'm going to screen share real quick. And the thing is, I don't know if when I turn off screen sharing, if it will, go back to us switching
Hmm.
heads. But I'm going to screen share for the news at least.
Okay.
Okay, all right. You can see my screen.
Yep.
We're going to be talking about. Oh, it even shows your head when you say something. Awesome. Say something again.
Hello, how are you, Staffa?
There you go. Shows your head. So, okay. Um, let's see. Okay, so basically, this first article right here, Google Play is offering is going to start offering refunds on apps from the Google Play Store up to 2 hours after the purchase. And I think this is really good as far as digital distribution, like progressing as far as like being more customer friendly.
Hmm.
Um, because like pretty much as far as first of all as far as digital distribution, you don't actually own the things that you buy. You're buying a license for the games. You're buying the right to play these games. That's one thing. So you're not actually owning the things that you purchase. Uh, but another thing, like, well, especially with like the Google Play Store, one issue is that the apps might not run well on your device. Because
Yeah.
with Android devices, they vary so much that certain games might not run well. So you got games like oh what's that one game called, the one that's pretty much like supposed to be like Halo, um oh, the one by
Gameloft.
Gameloft.
I
Can't
know which
remember
one
what
you're
it's
talking
called.
about. Gameloft and all their rip-off games.
Um,
I know which one you're talking about, but I can't remember what it was called. Looking at their...
I hear some music now. Is that coming from you or from me?
Not for me.
Um,
You have a tab open that's playing music.
Let me stop the screen share. I hear some Portal.
Do you have Portal running? Or do you have someone's recording of your
Someone's
level?
gameplay. Yeah, there we go. Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. But pretty much Gameloft's Halo ripoff, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Like they, that game is very processor intensive because the graphics look great for um, a mobile game. I mean, actually looks really good. It looks
Oh,
pretty much
yeah,
like
it's
a
Nova.
Nova. That's what it is. Okay, yes. So I mean, let's be honest. It looks really good for a mobile game.
Hmm.
It's probably the best looking mobile game. You know, and your mobile device might not be able to run it. So, you buy it and then you boot it up and the frame rate is like junk, you know. You can,
Yeah.
if it's within the first 2 hours, then you can be like, okay, I want to return this because I can't even play it.
Yeah, this is definitely good. Actually, they used to have a 15-minute. Um, it used to be 15 minutes to return apps, but they're just now extending it to 2 hours.
Okay. Yeah, that's what it says right here on the article.
Yeah,
But
because I've actually returned games that I've bought before, mainly because I just didn't really like it. But yeah, it's nice that they offer this refund. I don't know if iOS does offer refunds. I feel like they do, but I can't say for certain. But
I
it's nice
know
to have 2 hours now, rather than just 15 minutes. Because if it's a game, then you definitely want to not spend just 10 minutes playing the game, because you buy the game, you have to wait for it to download. That takes up part of those 15 minutes, and then you play the game, and then you realize 10 minutes later that you don't like it, but then that might be 1 minute too late to return it. So it's great that they've finally been able to upgrade this or update it to 2 hours so that you have the time to at least play the game, see what it's like, and then same thing for other apps too. I mean, 15 minutes to download, install, and set up and run the app is it's a lot of it's not a lot of time to see if it has all the features that you want. So
yeah.
2 hours I think is a good window.
I mean, like Origin, they have their own return policy. Like it's either, uh, if you launch the game, then no. First of all, it's within 7 days after purchasing the game, and if you launch the game, then it's 24 hours after launching the game.
Hmm.
So, like for whatever reason, whether the game doesn't work on your PC or you just plain don't like the game, supposedly they will give you a refund, no questions asked. So,
See, I wish Steam did that. They have a pretty restricted return policy. Theirs is you can only um, cancel a pre-order. That's it. You can get a
yeah.
refund for a pre-order, but once the game has been installed or once you buy the game, you can't return it.
You can also return a game if it's an item in your inventory. Like if you purchase it and you purchase it as like a gifted item,
Ah, okay.
you can also return it that way.
See, I think what I should do from
Because
now
that way
on,
it's not even in your library.
yeah, I think what I should do from now on is anytime I buy a game, unless I'm going to be playing it immediately, I should always just buy it as just put it in my library, so that way I
You
can,
can put in your items in your
yeah,
inventory.
in the inventory, right? And then that way, if you want to sell it later or return it later, you can. I think that's actually a really good idea. I might start doing that, because then, if someone else happens to want the game and they'd be willing to pay for it, then you could always trade them.
I want it for free. All right, let's move on to the next article here.
Hmm.
And Saints Row creative director, I'm gonna like demolish his name. Steve Jaros,
Jaros, I think. I don't know.
Jaros,
I don't know.
Jaros, Jaros. Steve over here. So he was the lead creative director. Worked on Saints Row, um, and like he was showing off the new Gat Out of Hell expansion at PAX Prime recently, and now he has left Volition and is working for our good buddy Gabe Newell,
Yay.
friend of the show.
Mhm.
We're like twinsies. That's how close we are.
Yep.
So
Do you play Team Fortress with him every night?
no, we prefer to play Battlefield,
Oh, okay.
Call of Duty.
About to say, he should be doing some co-op Portal with him.
That's the thing though. When you work on a game for so long, you get tired of looking at it. So he likes to play other people's games. In fact, he hates playing on PC. Also, he prefers the Wii U.
Interesting. Very
Because it has all the games.
So he likes to play Battlefield and Call of Duty on a Wii U.
He made it happen. So, anyways, Steve over here. We'll talk about him.
Mm-hmm.
So he was the lead creative director, and he's been at Volition for the past 10 years. So he's been working on the games for a while, and this is interesting because on one hand he helped make Saints Row 3 be as awesome as it was. On the other hand, maybe Volition needs to mix things up as far as the direction that they're going. Because have you played Saints Row 4?
Yes, I played it when it was like the free weekend a long time ago. I don't own it though, but I have played it.
It wasn't quite as good as 3. 3 was, I think it was definitely the better game.
I don't know.
3 was the better game.
I think I enjoyed 4 a little bit better.
3.
I
like how every time I talk, this dude's face shows up. And he's so serious too.
He's like, you will like Saints Row 3 more than 4.
Saints Row 3 is the better game because I spent 16 hours working on the tire physics. I play tested it. I made it work, and I then exported those tire physics into the physics that you use to ragdoll around when you are getting run over by cars with insurance fraud missions, which I made also. I did that. It's all me. Serious face here. Don't laugh at me. I'm being serious. So I don't know. Like I definitely think I feel like Volition. I mean, they were. I really had a lot of fun with Saints Row 3, and I think 4. It just felt like it didn't feel like it was a progression as far as the game itself. It definitely felt like an expansion to Saints Row 3, and they're working on an expansion for Saints Row 4, so it's like an expansion to an expansion. So, like I don't know. I feel like maybe they need to like change things up. Maybe this is a good thing for everyone. Valve has they've hired someone who's obviously a strong worker and did a lot of good work, and maybe Volition is gonna like just mix things up with their studio and get a new creative lead and might help them.
Yep.
So I think this is a good thing. Everybody wins.
Yep. Completely agree.
So let's move on. Let's talk about Mojang. last week we talked about the rumor. This week, the rumor is true. This is
Yep.
probably the biggest news of the week. So Mojang did get acquired by Microsoft for 2.5 billion with a B billion dollars. 2.5 billion.
Yep.
And they say that they are going, like Microsoft themselves say that they're going to continue supporting all versions of Minecraft. Like they are still working on the Vita version of Minecraft that's still going to come out.
Yep.
It's still cross-buy, between the PS3 and Vita version. It's still going to have the cross-play. Your game saves is still going to go across PS3, Vita, and PS4. So they're going to continue. That's what Microsoft says. They're going to continue supporting all versions. The quote I have here: whether you're playing on an Xbox, whether you're playing on a PlayStation, an Android, or an iOS device, our goal is to continue to evolve and innovate with Minecraft across all those platforms. And that was by Phil Spencer, another close friend of the show. I never lie. So, I mean, we shared a lot of our thoughts last week on this.
Yeah.
You have anything new?
Well, I think Microsoft kind of made a statement about this too, and they said that they were, I don't know, I don't remember the exact wording, but it almost sounds like they have plans to do a Windows Phone version of Minecraft, and that was like the big reason that they bought Mojang, was so that they can start building a presence.
Who owns a Windows Phone?
Yeah, and that I may have been reading the article wrong, or maybe I got something confused, but it seems like their biggest intention for buying Mojang was for their mobile platform, which, yeah, it's such a small market, but then also Minecraft is so far in its life cycle that they're not making the same sales that they used to. I mean, almost everyone who's would have bought Minecraft already owns it by now. It's been a few years since it's come out, and it's not like they're going to make any new sales. They're not. I highly doubt that they're going to make a profit over 2.5 billion.
They said that by summer next year they expect to make up that money or something like that.
I don't see how. I mean, it doesn't seem like
$2.5 billion.
$2.5 billion worth of sales of Minecraft are not going to happen in a year.
Yeah.
Less than a year. It's probably never going to happen again because, like I mentioned earlier, everyone who would have wanted the game already owns it.
I've heard the comparison of this acquisition to Microsoft acquiring Rare, because by the time that Microsoft acquired Rare, it was too late. Rare was no longer the same Rare that made all the great games. Like they were already as far as the quality of their work, it was declining. They made that Star Fox on foot platformer game for the GameCube. You remember that?
Yeah.
Fox Adventures.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all already on a decline. A lot of their their most talented staff was already gone and replaced with other people. It was basically a completely different company, and it was too late of an acquisition. And I mean, it's not the same case here because as far as the Mojang being a different company, they're not a different company. They're still the same guys, but Mojang, so far they've been like a one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
Minecraft, and what else have they made? That
Scrolls was released, but that didn't take as much. I mean, it wasn't as popular, or didn't sell as well and nearly as well as Minecraft. I mean, it's out. Some people have played it, but I haven't heard too much about it other than
they're also working on that. What is that one game? Like it has like numbers and stuff in the name.
That was Notch's like personal game. I think he canceled that.
Yeah, like that basically just looked like Minecraft in space or
Yeah,
something. I
kind
don't know.
of. I mean, it was a little bit different, but I mean,
Well, like
graphically,
graphically, it looked the same, but like
yeah,
functionally, it was different. It's
yeah.
still, come on now.
Well, that one was canceled. Like Notch was working on that, and it didn't. He canceled it. But one thing that's really interesting is what Notch is planning on doing, and uh, it's really weird. I mean, I can understand his point of view, but I don't know if I necessarily agree with what he's wanting to do. But he says that he's going to work on games still, but he says that if it even gains like a tiny bit of like what's the word for it? Like if it starts to gain traction or become somewhat popular, he's going to cancel it immediately because his big thing is he doesn't want to be involved with anything that's popular.
Too late.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like his thing is he said he's not worried about the money, he's worried about his sanity, which I mean I can understand that, but you know, I just I don't know necessarily agree with him wanting to just work on things that no one knows about because you know what's the point of doing that unless he's not it's not like he's doing it for a learning experience. This is his life now. He's got to make a
I mean,
living off of
like
this.
as a game designer, or at least an aspiring game designer myself, I want as many people to experience my work, or at least the work that I'm proud of. You know, the stuff
Hmm.
that I make, and I'm like, yeah, I'm proud of this. I want as many people to play as possible. You know, like my
Right.
game Beware the Bully, I was ecstatic when I saw so many people play it at Indie PopCon. You know, I had the booth
Yeah.
there, and like so many people played it. Can't even keep count as far as how many people played, but it was just really awesome. Like just seeing people play it and have smiles on their face. Um, it's I'd made no money at all. Like it
Right.
wasn't about making money, but like I was just really happy to see so many people play the game and enjoy it, and like I think to myself, I put all this hard work into this game, and it brings smiles to these people's faces. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah,
So
and I think there is a little bit of understanding in what Notch has been saying because I mean it's once you get to the point where millions of people are playing it, I can understand that there are going to be people who criticize it to the point where they're sending you hate mail, they're sending
there's
threats.
always gonna be haters.
Yeah, and the thing
Haters
is also
always
that
gonna hate.
yeah, and also the thing is I know that Notch was designing Minecraft to be a game that he wanted, but then it became popular and it he had to start satisfying the fans because it's now become a huge success.
Gotta
And
do what you gotta do, bro.
yeah, and like at this point he's starting to change the game to how he didn't envision it, and that was the reason that he stopped
Man, he didn't
working on
envision
it.
this game to begin with. He copied another game. It's true.
I don't know if he necessarily copied. He got
It
inspired,
was
but it
there
was
was
it was an
there was another
improvement.
game that he basically copied. It was like, I don't know, Cube World or something like that.
Not Cube World. That's a different one.
I don't
I
know.
know what you're talking about. It was like it was another mining game, but it wasn't. It
Dwarf
was
Fortress.
somewhat similar, but not exactly the same. It was. I forgot what it was called though.
Bioshock Infinite.
Yep, that's the one.
Alright, so you wanna move on? Because I wanna move on. I'm ready. You
Mhm.
ready?
Mhm.
Alright. We're talking about Destiny real quick. In fact, this kind of ties in with our main topic on reviews. So Destiny came out a couple weeks ago. I haven't played it. You haven't played it, have you, Kevin?
I have played it, but I don't own it. I mean, I've played it. I went to the midnight release at the Microsoft Store, and I played it there. And I've played it at one of my friend's house.
And you're like, why isn't this on PC?
Yeah, like if this was
There's
on
even a
if this
cursor
was on
in the menu.
PC, I would probably get it. I enjoy it. It's not perfect.
Doesn't the menu even have a cursor?
Yeah, it's basically set up in a way that it could just be translated directly to a mouse. Like, normally with, games that are on a controller, when you're going through menus,
Mm-hmm.
you push the down
You're
on
selecting
your
items.
direction pad, or it's like it pre-selects everything. You don't have a little
Yeah,
cursor that moves around freely. But in Destiny, everything is like this cursor that is circular that
that's
moves
just
around.
odd.
It's so weird for a controller game.
Yeah. So basically, what's going on is the review score on Metacritic and Game Rankings may cost Bungie at a $2.5 million bonus. So that's not the $2.5 billion that Mojang just made. Just million, $2.5 million. And like the thing with bonuses is that a lot of workers really rely on that bonus. Like for example,
Yeah.
for like their holiday bonus, to get their family the gifts that they want to give them and
hmm
all that. So basically, as of this, let me see if the numbers have changed. Okay, so as of this recording, on Game Rankings, the average is 76.61, and on a Metacritic, it is a 76. Okay,
Yep.
so what their contract said in 2010 is that they will get a $2.5 million bonus if they get at least a 90 on Game Rankings within the first 30 days of the Xbox 360 release. That was back in 2010. The contract has been modified since then, but there is no, confirmation on what the modification is. The modification could be anything. It could be, if they got an 80 on Game Rankings, or maybe the modification could be how much money they're making. Rather than 2.5 can be 2 million or 3 million. Who knows what the modifications are? That's my point.
Yeah.
So the sad thing is, like, a lot of publishers do this with the AAA games. They say, okay, if it gets this percent, then you get your bonus. And I believe it was, oh man, I can't remember which one it was. I think it was Spec Ops: The Line that the developers didn't get their bonus because of the fact that the review scores were so low.
Hmm.
And one reason why the review scores were so low was because they had a terrible multiplayer mode that was shoehorned in by the publisher.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so I think it was Spec Ops: The Line, but a lot of publishers will do this where they're like, okay, you need to get this level, this percentage on Metacritic, and I don't think it's just, I don't think Metacritic should be a deciding factor on whether the company gets their bonus or not.
Yeah.
Like I'm assuming they worked really hard. The studio, they tried to make the best product that they can make. I mean, like, there are totally other factors that can go into whether they get their bonus or not. Like, for example, whether they met the release date on time. Things like that.
Yeah.
Um, well, I mean, they can obviously rush to get the release date on time, but, like, make a solid product that came out on release date, or I mean, like as far as their sales go so far, Destiny is what the fastest selling new IP at this moment, or best selling game at period at this moment. It's Destiny sales total 325 million within the first 5 days. So that's 325 million. They can't even give Bungie 2.5 million of that. Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on. But then again, they did spend $500 million on the budget of this game. So
Yeah, they haven't really gotten anywhere close to where they need to be to make up their spending costs for it.
yeah. So I don't know. Well, I don't even know if that 325 million is, if that's profit or if that's just their revenue.
Yeah.
Like if that's like profit on top of if you subtract the budget, or I don't even know. But
Right.
anyways, like I don't like the fact that for AAA title, like a lot of these AAA titles, the publisher will, like, you know the bonus for the workers, the employees of the company, it all depends on review scores. You know.
Yeah, that seems a little unfair because I mean, judging someone's bonus based on other people's opinions doesn't make much sense.
Yeah. Exactly. So, you ready to move on?
Yep.
All right. This article, I thought this was a fun. This is a fun article. It was So basically, Mario and Luigi Dream Team for the 3DS. It's an RPG. I hear it's pretty fun. There's a glitch on this with the Miiverse, and the Miiverse got unnecessarily sexy for a little bit because of this glitch. So basically, with the Miiverse, you can post either text messages on there, drawings that you make yourself, or screenshots from the games they are playing. And there was a glitch with Mario and Luigi Dream Team in which you can go into the web browser and take a screenshot from the web browser and then post it, as a game screenshot. So I'm not gonna like zoom in on the images because we don't need that. But basically, this one specific person started exploiting this glitch. Started posting pictures of both anime and real life girls with very top heavy.
That's one way to put it.
One of them being Princess Peach on this little thumbnail, so it's kind of game related. But the rest of them just random Asian girls with large tops.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know how the Miiverse works, but I like the picture of all the little Miis. Like their faces are in shock.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's people just posting their reaction to it, or I'm not sure. But it's just very humorous seeing that all these Miis just going like, "Oh my God!" just in shock and awe.
Yeah.
And
That's hilarious.
I mean, like the pictures that this person posted are not X-rated. Like they're all, there's somewhat covered up. Not completely nude, but despite not being X-rated, it's still inappropriate for little kids.
Right.
So I just thought this was really funny. So I just wanted to share this because it's not like people got hurt. No one got lost their job, or I don't know, maybe someone did, but it's just really funny that like especially the person who was posting these pictures, he was like, "Hey guys, I'm back. Here's another one. I'm not banned yet."
Yeah.
uh, it's just really funny. I mean, like, in a way, that guy. I mean, like, yeah, he was exploiting the glitch, but I think he was only doing enough to pretty much point out that this glitch exists.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be taking like abusive advantage of everything.
Yeah, like he could have straight up
Mhm.
posted porn if he
Right.
wanted, but he didn't. Instead he was just like posting these anime girls and Princess Peach and like, "Hey, I'm back." Here's another one. And but the very odd thing about this though is that Nintendo is releasing a patch to fix this, but it is not a mandatory patch. It is an optional patch.
Huh.
So what is the point of patching this if it's optional? If people know how to do this glitch, why would they want to download the patch?
Hmm.
I mean, yeah, they can. I mean, moderators. Miiverse does have moderators, I believe, right?
I'm not sure. I'm not
I
familiar
think
with it.
so. I think so. And you know, yeah, the people posting these pictures might get a temporary ban or a lifetime ban. Who knows?
Mm.
But still, like, why take the risk? I don't understand why Nintendo would take the risk and be like, okay, this is an optional. Maybe they just want to see more pictures of Princess Peach.
Maybe.
It's an executive decision by Reggie. He wanted more pictures of Peach. He's like, you know what? This guy here, I like him. I want him to post more pictures.
Reggie approves.
My potty.
We need
my-
that picture of Reggie with his stare.
Hold on. I gotta do it on this other screen so I don't pull up something that uh, is inappropriate.
Oh,
Okay, the one that's straightforward or the one that's angled?
one that says "My body is ready." I don't know if
Oh,
you've seen that one. Here, I just sent it to you on Steam.
here we go. This one. Is this the image? Hello? Hello, can you hear me? Kevin.
Yeah, sorry about that. Chrome crashed and I had to get back in.
Okay,
All right, yeah, that one.
there we go. Alright, so anyways, yeah. I mean, like, I just thought it was a fun article to talk about. There's not really much an opinion here other than it's funny. You got anything to add to this?
Nope, not really.
Yeah, it's funny. So, the other big news of this week,
Mhm.
Space Base Roads
Bad
to
news.
version 1.0.
And like this might seem like a good thing, like yay, it's getting a final release, but this is actually really bad news.
So, Space Base DF9. I'm assuming DF stands for Dwarf Fortress, right?
uh, I don't think it
Maybe?
does, but it does seem like it would.
Space
I'm not
Base
sure.
Dwarf
It might
Fortress.
be Space Base Double Fine. Fine.
Oh, that makes sense too. That makes sense too. So, anyways, I love this image that they put on here. Road to 1.0, and this is December 2012, and prototype. March 2013, start full game development. October 2013, Alpha 1. Then there's Alpha 2, Alpha 3, uh, Alpha 4, Alpha 5, Alpha 6, then version 1.0. Woo! Like they go from Alpha 6 to version 1.0.
Completely skipped all of beta.
Yeah, like a reminder for the listeners, if you don't know what's the difference between alpha and beta, a beta is feature complete. So it has all the features it's going to have, in the final game. It just needs more work on making sure that it's not full of bugs and everything
Yeah.
works like how it should be. So an alpha is not feature complete. It can be a pro, like it basically has the basic functions of the game. It will have missing features and maybe even missing segments of the game like levels and stuff like that. So basically an alpha not feature complete, beta feature complete. That's the difference between the two.
Yep.
So it's going from Alpha 6 to version 1.0 next month. And that's because Double Fine is abandoning this game. They are canning it. It's being canceled. And this is what I've been telling people about why I don't like early access, because there's no guarantee that the game will get complete. I'll admit that there have been several Kickstarters I backed, but at a certain point I stopped because I was very excited at first when all these Kickstarters started coming up, because all these studios were like, okay, we're gonna make this game that you want, but it'll only happen if you help us. And it was just a very exciting time because we got to see all these concepts for games that wouldn't exist otherwise.
Yeah.
So that's why I just got sucked in and started backing a few Kickstarters. But after a while, I got to my senses like, okay, I gotta quit doing this. These games will be cheaper. I shouldn't be looking at it like a pre-order. I should look at it as investing in the company and trying to make this project work, and I am in no position in doing such thing because I'm a broke dude. And if I want to buy these games, Kickstarter is not the best way because it'll be cheaper when it actually gets out. There'll be sales, there'll be deals, there'll be your humble bundles, and so I was like, okay, I'm not saving money by backing these games now. I'm basically putting my money and in someone else's hands and gambling with it on whether this project will even get complete or not.
Hmm.
And I see the same way with early access games. You're gambling with your money. And I was talking to Adam, who is our community manager for the podcast, and his point to me was that when you buy any game, it's a gamble. And his example he gave me was, how many games have I bought that I have not even played yet? The difference between that, buying any game, and buying an early access game is, we were talking about earlier, is that the game is constantly changing. You're getting updates. You can't review a game that's in early access, or at least the press doesn't review games that's in early access because it's going to be constantly changing. And
Right.
the big gamble is whether the game will even get complete or not, whether the studio will abandon the game or not. That's the big gamble there. And that's a huge difference between a game that is complete and it's already out versus a game that is in early access. Like, I can, if I want to check out if hey, am I gonna want to play The Witcher 2? It's $5 on sale. Okay, it has some pretty good reviews. I buy it. Oh, I didn't get to play it, but at least it was $5, and maybe I'll get around to it eventually. I know that it has some good reviews, so maybe I'll eventually get around to it. That's different than me buying an early access game and then the studio just abandons it. I think that's a huge difference.
Yeah. Yeah. I last time I talked about I was playing this game, and I was really, really looking forward to this being,
Mhm.
a full feature complete game because, you know me and the types of games that I've played. Like this is this fits in with one of my favorite genres, like that management, town building type of game. Except this is in space, which is my favorite setting, and it takes a lot of cues from Dwarf Fortress, which is a game that I highly respect, and I want games like that. Just on a I want games that have depth and complexity like that, and this was getting closer and closer to the perfect management and town building type of game that I've ever played, and there was a lot of bugs with it that as I've been playing through the early access version, and I was sure that those would be fixed. And there's a lot of issues as far as like design choices that I had, but other than that, this game was going to be almost spot on to what I was really looking forward to. But they're giving up on this at such an early stage that I'm irked. I'm upset.
Now, I was looking at both Reddit and the Steam forums, and a lot of people who purchased this are irate. They are very angry. And one person, pretty much what he said is, to say this game is incomplete would be an understatement.
Yeah.
So, they're basically taking what's there right now, cleaning up as much bugs as they can between now and whenever they release this game next month, and then saying that's version 1.0. There you go, have at it.
Yeah, so, and the way that they're stating this, I mean, they're putting a very positive tone to their decision. It's like, yeah, we've got 1.0 coming out soon, and we're really excited about this, but underneath all of that, the truth is they're giving up on the game.
Yeah, they're basically
hoping
saying
that the community finishes it because they're releasing the source code.
Yeah,
and they're basically just saying, we're not going to finish this. You can take it and finish it for us.
Put up or shut up.
Yeah, and I'm upset because, like I mentioned, I was really excited about this game. I was really loving the direction that it was going in. It was just, it was definitely feature incomplete. There's a lot of things that are missing. There are a lot of features that had. I mean, I looked at the list. I don't know if you saw the NeoGAF post, but there was someone had found like the full
list of features that they wanted to put in.
Yeah, let me see if I can find that, and then I'll send you the link, and then you can pull it up on the screen share, and you can just take a look. The list is gigantic, and there was a lot of things like right now your station can only be on one level. Like there's no floors, there's no stairs, there's no elevators. But one of the features that they were going to add was multi-level stations, which was perfect, but that's not going to make it into the game now. Let me see if I can find this.
I was talking to my friend Tony, who has been on the show several times. Usually during the end of the year podcast, he's on the show with me. And one thing he mentioned is, can Double Fine get sued or charged for investment fraud? Because they've had. Okay, let me pull this up that you sent me.
Yeah, the infographic that you're looking at right now will be the first thing, but there's a list right underneath that infographic that shows the full list of things that they wanted to add.
Yeah, that is quite a large list. I'm still scrolling.
Yeah, and this is actually from a little while ago. So some of those features are already in the alpha. Again, they were added in Alpha 6, but there's still a lot of things that have not been added.
Yeah, so I mean, what Tony was telling me is maybe there's some type of a waiver because of Kickstarter, but as far as their projects have been going, they did the Kickstarter for Broken Age. They got about 10 times the amount of money that they asked for. Yes, they scaled their they increased the scale of their project because of their larger budget, but they ended up you know, releasing half the game, saying, "Oh, the other half will come out later, but we need more crowdfunding to finish this game because we ran out of money."
Yeah.
And like now they're abandoning Space Base DF9, and I looked up on Wikipedia, and it looks like this game was funded by this thing called Indie Fund, which I have on the screen right now. And I read this article, and basically, what Indie Fund is you can't apply for Indie Fund. Indie Fund is basically like they select your game, whether like how popular the game is or whatever. I noticed that Nathan Vella of Cappy is part of the one of the members of Indie Fund, and Cappy Capybara Games had a partnership with Double Fine. Like during PAXs, they share the same booth.
Yeah.
So maybe their friendship, Nathan Vella and what's his face, Tim Schafer. Maybe because of their friendship, that's how he got the Indie Fund. But basically, the Indie Fund, they'll select like 2 to 3 games to help fund their game, and basically they ask the people, the studio that they fund, to basically pay them back if they can after the game is finished and released, and then pay a little bit extra, just to help out, expand the fund. And then in 2010, they changed it so that, not 2010, sorry, 2012, they changed it so that they ask for 25% of the revenues from the sales for the first 2 years, or until they have doubled their investment. So, like, are they going to pay back Indie Fund? That's what I'm wondering at this point. Are they going to pay back Indie Fund, or are they just going to say, well, we can't pay you back, so sorry? Because, like, I don't think they're required to pay back Indie Fund.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems very strange. I mean, I don't understand why Double Fine hasn't managed their projects better. I remember hearing or reading somewhere that they mentioned like their teams are broken up in a way that they can have 3 projects going on at once.
But the thing is, they have so many projects going on at once.
More than 3. Like they had, they have Broken Age.
Yeah.
Classic Quest 2.
Broken
Grim Fandango is being remade.
Yeah.
They had Space Base before that got canned basically, or canceled.
Hack and Slash just came out.
Hack and Slash just came out. They have another game. Massive Chalice was was kickstarted a while ago.
Yeah.
So that's 6 games already, and I'm sure that they've got other things going on. So that's double what their normal, I guess, project load is. Like they said, 3 projects is what they could do at once, and they've got 6 going on. So I don't understand. I don't know. It seems very, very strange that they would do this. I mean, the only thing that I can think of is that they started taking advantage of the fact that they became popular or something. I don't know. Maybe they just got too excited about all the projects that they have, and then.
I mean, to me, it seems like they're definitely biting off much more than they can chew.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if Tim Schafer is the one who like does the management as far as their finances and all that, or maybe they have some kind of accountants to do it. I mean, if they don't have an accountant, they definitely need to get somebody to run their finances.
Yeah.
I mean, Tim Schafer is he's a game designer. He is a writer. He is a comedy guy. He is obviously not a money and time management person, because I mean, like, with Broken Age being broken apart in 2 games, and Space Base DF9 canceled, like, these are like 2 big, like, boo-boos
Mm-hmm.
that they should avoid. It is not looking good for them, and I don't know, man. It's like, can they get charged for investment fraud? That would be pretty scary.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. I mean, if you look at this, everything, especially with Space Base, everyone's like, "Don't buy this game." You know, it's terrible. Everyone's giving it bad reviews already, so people are upset. I'm
And
upset.
the thing
And
is, like, a lot of people were like, when the whole Kickstarter craze was going around, a lot of people were saying, well, um, because Double Fine is reputable, I have no problem backing them, but I won't back, these smaller developers, etc.
hmm,
The like their reputation is not looking very good anymore. You know,
right.
like, apparently they were reputable back, when they did that Kickstarter, but I mean, come on now, they're looking like they're very bad with their money.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just it's really ugly.
Yeah. I'm I'm not quite sure. You know, I'm definitely losing a lot of trust in Double Fine, and they've proven to me that they can't manage their projects. Um, they can't keep themselves in check because then they just keep on taking new things, take on new games to make. You know, they're not managing themselves well.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm going to support Double Fine anymore as far as pre-orders or Kickstarters or
Pre-ordering is always a bad idea for
yeah.
any
Well,
game.
I have a very different I only pre-order a game if I'm
If
planning
it
on
comes
getting
with
the
a statue.
collectors. If I want the collector's edition of a game, which means that I have to love the game a lot in order to get it pre-ordered now. I mean, I've learned my lesson, over the past couple years of games that are being released, and so far the only games that I've ever pre-ordered or anything is if it's the collector's edition that I'm getting. But I don't know if I will completely give up on early access games. There are still a lot of things that
It's a
I would like
gamble.
to support. Yeah, it's a gamble, and there are some risks that I'm willing to take. Um, but you know,
I mean,
that
the the,
doesn't
only
always
the
turn out.
only early access games I have are games I kickstarted from a while back, or games that I got through like some bundles, like groupies or whatever.
Yeah.
So, like, those are the only games I have through early access, and I don't even play them. I have oh man, what's hold on, let me look at my Steam real quick. Library. Distance. That's what the game is. I have the beta for Distance, which was it's a racing game, and it's like a Tron-like racing game. And
Mhm.
I kickstarted it, and they gave me the beta. And I've installed, but I have yet to boot it up because I'm waiting for the word beta to go away and be like the official, gone gold version. Because I
Yeah.
don't want to like play a game and be like, oh, this kind of sucks, but it's
Yeah.
like not released yet. So, oh,
I'm actually kind of
I got
excited
Wasteland
for.
2 installed.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm actually kind of excited for Distance. I played the game that was like the prototype of that one. I
Yeah,
forgot what it was called. Neon Rush something maybe. I don't know. No, it wasn't that one.
racing
Uh,
game.
Yeah, it was something. It was whatever game was the prototype of Distance. Like it
Hmm.
was free, and
Yeah.
I played it. It was so fun. I'm looking forward to Distance, but that's besides the point. But yeah, I understand what you mean by like waiting for games to get out of early access. But I've been playing early access games for a while. I like to support projects. I like to give feedback. I'm the type of person who buys a beta because I want to beta test it, not just to to play it early. Like I
Yeah.
want to give feedback. I want to provide help with to the developers. So anytime I have an opportunity to play a beta game, it's not just because I want to play it early. It's because I want to provide my input.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I was looking at like the comments. I mentioned that people were very angry in the comments of both
Yeah.
Reddit and Steam forums. And one thing that uh, someone mentioned was like, hey, maybe this is the reason why publishers don't like Tim Schafer. I mean, like,
Maybe.
I think that's taken a little too far because Tim Schafer kind of stepped away from publishers, a while back,
Yeah.
and he was making games back then, but or who knows, maybe he had a bunch of prototypes that never, reached the face of the internet that we never heard of,
Yeah.
and he just didn't finish. I don't know, but that's just speculation at this point. But I mean, it definitely doesn't look good to like get like all these backers, indie fund, Kickstarter backers, crowdfunding backers, whatever, to invest in your company
Mhm.
to make these projects happen, and then mismanagement happens multiple occasions, not just once, but multiple occasions, and
Yeah.
that's not good.
Yep. Sadly, that is the truth of things as they are right now.
Yep.
Well,
It's unfortunate, but
yeah.
maybe they should just hire me and I'll fix the job. I'll fix it.
Yep. I was
Come on,
actually considering applying for a position at Double Fine, and then this happened. I was like, I don't know.
well, you'll still get paid. It's just the customers won't get their games.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Come on, Tim. I'm your man.
Best buddies.
Bros. We'll make Bro Force Double Fine Edition. Well,
Oh, man.
that'll be sweet. I'll make games for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I got as far as news. Today's Thursday, so if anything happens after today, that's exciting. Too bad. We'll talk about it next time.
Well, unfortunately, I actually am running a little bit late, so I'm going to have to head out and let you do the outro on your own. But
Okay.
it was nice recording with you, and I just waved into no camera.
Thank you, Kevin, with your face and your sound waves coming out of your face.
Yeah. You
All
can
right.
see the voice acting.
All right. See you later.
Yep, see it.
And okay, so with Kevin gone, we're gonna talk a bunch of smack about him. That guy is a PC elitist. He likes Bioshock way too much, and not only that, but he also likes video games. So what a nerd. I'm just messing. Anyways, let's wrap things up. We have no listener feedback this week, but if you want to write into the show and let us know what your thoughts are on anything that we mentioned on the show, whether it's the news that we had on here, or any of the main topics, or if you have a suggestion for a main topic, write into podcast@atticcontinues.com. I want to give some shout-outs real quick. I want to give a shout-out to Nathan Becker, also known as Ectogemia. That's ECTOGEMIA. That's Facebook.com/Ectogemia, SoundCloud.com/Ectogemia. You can find his music there. And he helped make the intro music. If you're listening to the MP3, he helped make the intro music for Attic Continues. Unfortunately, if you're watching this on YouTube, there was no intro music and no outro music. The outro music is going to be one of the tracks from the soundtrack to Beware the Bully, which is my game. He did the music for that. So if you enjoy the song, you can check out Beware the Bully, the actual game. It's on. The link is on the side of outofcontinues.com. I want to give a shout out to Kevin. Thank you for filling in on short notice. And I want to give a shout out to Eric the Dud for not making in the show and having difficulty setting up his mic and wanting me to interview him because he's too good for the show now. So if you enjoy what you've been hearing, support us by liking us on Facebook, following us on Twitter, leave an iTunes review, or you can contact by email. That is podcast@outofcontinues.com. All of these can be found on the website at www.outofcontinues.com. Or you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/outofcontinues. Subscribe to get the videos through there. You can give me a tweet. I am at SayedStafa. That's at SayedStafa. So I want to thank Kevin for joining me today. And with that said, I am your host, Stafa. Peace out, everybody.
Beast.